Lagos, while 4 of us are here in Ibadan, we sing and minister to people using our, a cappella, so then I also sing juju music. I sing juju music. Juju music, I think you understand what juju music is all about. So when you have the likes of them, fathers, them Sonny Ade, then Ebenezer Obey, so I sing juju music. And what led me to singing this genre of music? I have this mentor of mine, Mr. Taiwo Omotunde. He's the choir master in my church, Methodist Church, like I said earlier. Bodija, yeah, thank you very much. When I see this man, I see him as an example, perfect example. The way he sings, I watch him sing when I was young, and he has a band called Eternal Beats Entertainment. That's where we sing juju music. So at the point when I go to, maybe when I go for his outings, when I see him sing, I get thrilled, and I was like, at that time I was like, I need to join this particular band. I have interest in singing songs like this, entertaining people when it comes to outside events. So at the end of the day, I went to meet him. I told him, I said, sir, I would like to join your band. He looked at me, then you are too young. How do you want to?
How old were you then?
Then I was
under 20.
Yes, under 20.
Okay.
So he said, how would you cope? Would your parents release you? Then I told him, this is about passion, and that's where most parents make this mistake. When your child tells you he or she wants to sing, please let him do it. That is where passion comes in. You cannot do what you don't have passion for. That is it. So I told him, I said, if it is about my parents, I will discuss with them. They know I love music. So afterwards, I told my parents, I discussed this with them, and they gave me the go. I started singing. Until now, I am still with him, with the Eternal Beats band. So
it's been quite interesting listening to you.
Thank you.
It's obvious and evident that you are a bundle of talent.
Thank you very much.
And you are well read.
Yes.
Now, before I go to my next question, let's have a short musical break. And however, before then, make sure you like, follow, and comment on all our videos as you're watching, because subsequently we'll have a gift for whoever has the most for the participant who has been commenting the most, and the person who has been monitoring our program the most as well. So right now, let's just have a short musical break, and when we are back, I'll be discussing more on your educational background and other things that you do. You are a bundle of talent. I mentioned that earlier. So you have a lot of things to tell us here today. And I'm sure our listeners and viewers at home, they have a lot of things to learn from you. It's been quite enlightening and entertaining so far.
Ayọ̀ wọn ká Yósù, ayọ̀ wọn ká. Ayọ̀ lọ sí Síónì tó dára jùlọ. Ayọ̀ gòkè lọ sí Síónì ìlú Ọlọ́run wa. Jẹ́ ká máa kọrin lọ, omijé gbogbo gbẹ. Ayọ̀ nílé Emmanuel, ayọ̀ nílé Emmanuel. Sáyé dídán lókè, sáyé dídán lókè. Ayọ̀ lọ sí Síónì tó dára jùlọ. Ayọ̀ gòkè lọ sí Síónì ìlú Ọlọ́run wa. ó ṣé olúwa ó ṣé ó jésù ó ṣé ó mẹ́ta lọ́kan tó dá wa sí dòní o ó ṣé olúwa ó ṣé ó jésù ó ṣé ó mẹ́ta lọ́kan tó dá wa sí dòní o. ọ̀pọ̀ ló fẹ́ tòní o ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò sí láyé mọ́ èmi wà láyé o mo rá bàbá sí ọ. I throw a salute o, you are the mighty Father. Ó ṣé olúwa ó ṣé ó jésù ó ṣé mẹ́ta lọ́kan tó dá wa sí lónìí o. ó ṣé olúwa ó ṣé ó jésù ó ṣé mẹ́ta lọ́kan tó dá wa sí lónìí.
You're currently listening to Let Us Dance by Ayo Adegboye.
Ríro máa ní tẹ̀dá o, ṣíṣe ní tolúwa, mo bọ́ lọ́wọ́ ogun, ìdààmú ayé o. I throw a salute o, you are the mighty Father. Ó ṣé olúwa, ó ṣé ó Jésù, ó ṣé mẹ́ta lọ́kan tó dá wa sí lónìí o. Ó ṣé olúwa, ó ṣé ó Jésù, ó ṣé mẹ́ta lọ́kan tó dá wa sí lónìí o.
You're still tuned into Celebrity Corner with Oluwamayowa Adeyinka live on Aloore Radio, and we're broadcasting from the GSM studio, Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism in Secretariat or your state, Ibadan. And we still have Ayo Adegboye in the studio on Celebrity Corner. Ayo Adegboye. Now, this song is titled Let Us Dance.
Yes.
There's an element of makosa in it.
Yes.
Which is one of the addictive music rhythms that makes people dance.
Yes.
And it is predominantly a juju song.
Yes. Gospel juju.
Gospel
yes.
juju, thank
yes.
you. Now, gospel juju, makosa,
yes,
and other elements of Fuji
yes,
inside one song.
Yes.
Do you employ a production manager, or you do all these things yourself whenever you are recording a song?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me start with the song itself. I don't employ anybody. I sit down when the inspiration comes. I write down songs.
Okay.
Most especially at midnight, when I have that feeling that something is coming, then I'll just pick up my pen immediately. I have a book. I have my song book. I'll just write down something. So at the end of the day, I'll compile. I'll make a compilation. This is just a single track.
Yes.
I call it a single track. So
about 7 minutes.
Yeah, I call it
a single track is about 7 minutes.
Yes, I call it a single track. So at the end of the day, I'll just go to the studio. I'll do my arrangement myself.
Fantastic.
I don't have any production manager, just myself and the studio engineer. So we just do things together. Okay, I'll sing, he will check. Because I told you I'm a music person, and I am also an organist.
Okay.
When it comes to notes, musical notes. So I am a trained organist. So I do my things myself. Okay, if a particular note is not, if I'm singing a particular note that is not right, I will get to know. Immediately I go to the keyboard or the organ and
you
play, then I
yes,
would
you
fix
know
it out.
what this is.
So that's it.
Okay, now going through your educational background,
Yes.
you have your first degree
Yes.
in computer
science. Thank you.
and second degree
Computer
in
science and
engineering.
Yes.
Now, not sound engineering, computer science engineering,
Yes.
not music engineering,
Yes.
not film engineering.
Yes.
Now, computer science and engineering.
Yes.
So, how did you transition? I mean, transcend into the entertainment industry?
Okay. Like I said earlier, I said I love music. I'm passionate about music. So, and the country, when you finish school, when you are done with service, you hardly would you get a reasonable job. You start, even though when you get that particular job, it's just chicken change. So I just thought upon myself, how long will I be surfing for job when I have something that I can do weekly that will fetch me money? Then why not just, and that's what most people don't understand. There's what they call skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development, which they call side. So when you acquire a skill, and when you are good at that skill which you acquire, then it can help you. In fact, it will help you to push you forward. So I just thought within myself, if, for example, I got employed by a bank, for example, and this music is still in me, how do I manage the two? Okay, weekends, I go for performances, I go for events. So, and maybe if I have a performance or a show for Saturday, and it's maybe outside of Ibadan, I would have to travel a day before, which I can't start taking permission in the bank. It doesn't speak well. So you have to stick to one. So I just thought within myself, okay, let me just pick one. So if I see something like I can actually do, maybe a government job or something that will not affect my music career, then I can do it. But along the line, I went into photography. I learned photography for some 2 years, and immediately I finished learning photography.
That's after your MSc?
Yes. Immediately I finished learning photography, I set up my own studio. I have my own studio. I go for outside jobs too. Like I said, weddings. I cover weddings. I cover funerals. I cover birthday parties, housewarming, and the likes.
So now, you worked 2 years with American International Insurance Company.
Yes.
And you left.
I left
for photography.
Yes.
Why did you leave?
I worked with American International Insurance Company for 2 years in Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
I left for 2 reasons. Number one, the hustle and bustle in Lagos.
Okay.
When you are working in a state like Lagos, Lagosians will understand, and then what you are earning is far below your cost of living or standard of living. Thank you. So it doesn't make any sense. So how would you, when you are earning something like, okay, for example, you are earning 100,000, and your standard of living is
around
200,000. How do you want to cover for this? So I had to leave. I just had to leave there. And it was so difficult for me anyway, a decision for me to make then. But I had no choice but just to make that decision. I took it upon myself. Okay, whatever would happen, let me just face it. That's when I left Lagos for Ibadan. Then I learned photography for 2 years. I learned every aspect of photography, the editing part, the coverage aspect of it, and what have you. And at the end of the day, I finished learning and I set up my own studio. And to the glory of God, I'm doing fine today.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Now, what was, especially your mother now,
Yes.
what was her opinion when you were leaving the company to learn photography, knowing fully well that you have a BSc and a MSc?
Well, at first, she she ruminated about it, and she actually felt it how will I be able to cope. But when I sat her down to explain, and she herself knowing fully well that it was exactly, so she had no choice but just to succumb to my demand. So at the end of the day, I told her I would have to leave Lagos. I would have to leave this Aiko company. Who knows, something better can come after I leave this particular place. So at the end of the day, she agreed, and I left.
With everything that you know now,
Yes.
if you had to go back in time, would you have studied computer science?
I would ask, if I should ask you the same question, or if I should ask my listeners at home, that particular career of yours or course of yours that you had in mind to study when you were young, is it that particular course that you are using to earn a living now?
Personally, yes.
Okay, yes. Oh, well,
I'm one of the fortunate ones.
yeah, one of the fortunate ones in Nigeria. But at first, I had the intention of, like I said, studying computer science. I studied computer science. But you know, computer science is a lucrative course. You can work anywhere. You can work anywhere. So, but it's unfortunate. The reverse is the case. It's more or less like my boss too, Mr. Taiwo Motunde.
Mm-hmm.
He left banking for music. So, and he's doing fine now. So that's the mystery about
okay,
life.
now we've discussed photography.
Yes.
We've discussed music.
Yes.
Now acting.
Yeah, the acting part of it. You know, I said I'm into photography. So most of the time when there is a location job, they'll call me maybe for a DOP role, director of photography or assistant, cameraman on the set, or BTS job. There's something they call behind the scene. So either I take up these 3 roles, and at the end of the day, they can end up using you as not even that, you can end up being an extra cast.
Okay.
So there's this particular job I'm going for this Monday now. I'm going to take the BTS role, behind the scene role. So that's it about.
So it's not as if you went to a film school or a movie academy to study acting. It was just by what I do.
What I do gave me the chance
to be on the scene. Oh, okay, that's fantastic. Now, you are like many other Nigerians who have a lot of things that they do.
Yes.
Backed up with a different certificate entirely.
Yes.
Now, how would you, if peradventure the governor of Oyo State appoints you as a special advisor
on what, sir?
Entertainment. What are the things you feel need reshaping in Oyo State, basically?
Well, let me start with the education part, because when it comes to this country, Oyo State, as a case study, education should be number 1, which is paramount. The youths are the future of tomorrow. So if there's no sound education, where you start hearing ASU strike, where you go to a class, for example, if maybe a primary school, where you start having or seeing 50 pupils in a setting, where you start seeing 45 pupils in a setting. So are
they too much?
Just too much.
Okay.
So if I have the opportunity to be the special advisor on entertainment to the Oyo State government, number 1, I would table out the fact that the governor should please look into that aspect of the clumsy aspect of students in a classroom. Because when you have 50 students in a class, for that child, a particular child out of 50, or 2 children out of 50, to be able to hear what the teacher is saying from afar, it will be difficult, compared to when you have a sitting of 20-25. When you have a sitting of 20-25, you can easily see one another. You can see the teacher. You will be able to hear him or her clearly, and there will be less of noise. You understand? Then I would also look into this setting of asking the executive governor, the executive governor to, if possible, have a talk with other state governors to please look for a way of annulling this thing called ASU strike. Students are suffering. Some students are really suffering. It's over 3 months, if I'm not wrong, that they have been at home.
It's a federal federal challenge.
Yes, but they can actually bring it up if they really want to. They can bring it up. They will just sit down. Okay, all the 36 state governors, they will sit down. Okay, come. What strategy can we use? Okay, to at least bring an end to this. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. And at the end of the day, they will take it up. And if God willing, things can change.
In as much as that is outside your jurisdiction as entertainment advisor,
okay,
education is valid to all sectors.
Yes.
And one thing that has prompted a lot of people into the entertainment industry is the hiccups in the education system.
Yes.
You see a lot of people now, a lot of musicians are dropouts.
Yes.
And they are not regretting it.
Yes.
Why? Because the sector has crumbled. The educational system has crumbled.
Yes.
So when they tapped into the alternative,
yes,
they will look back and say, okay, fine. My mates that have been going to school that have BSc, they don't have the platform that I have.
yes,
They've not met the people I have related with.
yes,
And they don't have the opportunities I am seeing.
yes,
Because after education, majority of the people go back to learn one or two things.
Yes.
There is no job. Even the job that we have, the salary is not mouth-watering.
Yes,
It is not enough to take care of your basic amenities.
of course.
And now, they've delved into the entertainment system.
Yes,
And as it is today, personally, based on my own opinion, the entertainment industry is overcrowded.
yes,
And we have a lot of people that are using entertainment to cover up a lot of things.
yes,
Do you understand?
of course.
Now, this sector yet still brings in money.
Yes, of course.
And everybody is still it's just like a sky with different birds, and they are all flying comfortably and conveniently
In the sky.
in the sky. And now, looking at Oyo State, entertainment is different from what it used to be in the past. Oyo State used to be the home of entertainment,
Of course.
and it should be the home of entertainment. Because by the time you look at all the superstars that we have, they've trained from somebody that is from this state.
Yes,
Do you understand?
of course.
Yet, this state is not flourishing in entertainment. So what would you tell the governor to fix so that the lost glory can be returned to the state? Because as it is now, if you ask an average, not even, okay, well, we don't have a superstar here in Oyo State.
Yes.
The biggest of them all, they've moved to Lagos. We have Toyin Emakun here. Majority of our time, Lagos.
Yes.
If she's going to premiere a movie, she will rather do all the tours in Lagos. Likewise, other Muyiwa Ademola is in Oyo State. What's it called? Femi Adebayo is in Oyo State.
Yes.
They are all here,
Yes.
but they are here, living here because they have families here. Majority of their majority of their earnings come from Lagos. And if you ask me, emerging talents, they are all moving to Lagos. I've had a discussion with a couple of celebrities here on this show,
Yes.
and backdoors, majority of them have told me before the year runs out, I'll move to Lagos. We have fresh talents that are moving out of Oyo State to Lagos. We have fresh breeds that are not seeing future in Oyo State entertainment. And I've related with a couple of people who have told me the entertainment system in Oyo State has been hijacked. By the time you go for an event, the same set of crowd, the same set of organizers, the same set of sponsors. And if you look at the Nigerian GDP today, entertainment constitutes a solid part
Of course.
of the earnings of the country. Even looking at the image of the country as a whole, the only PR, or let me say the major PR that we have out there is entertainment.
Yes.
Majority of other news covered by the foreign media about this country, they are all negative stories. But when it comes to music, Nollywood, fashion, they are all mostly positive. Now, this is Oyo State. We have a crude, let me say, on tap.
Yes.
How do we tap into it?
Okay, thank you very much. Like you have rightly said, entertainment in Oyo State has actually dwindled. But there are better ways. The first, or which is paramount out of these ways, is for the governor himself to please, if I were to be the the special advisor on entertainment, like you rightly said, I will find time to meet with him, or I will write to him and table it out that the first thing which needs to be reshaped is, building of movie premiere events, where you can actually good locations in Oyo State or in Ibadan here, where you can actually have movie premieres.
But we have the cinemas.
Yeah, but they are not enough compared to that in Lagos.
Of course.
So they can do more. So when they do more, then the migration rate from Ibadan to Lagos will reduce.
But we have the government can come in.
Yes.
But I believe there has to be some things to be done by the government to attract investors.
Yes.
Do you get? If you look at the cost of building a cinema, cost of maintaining it, and cost of running it, the way a private sector will run it will not be the way the government will run it. So if you are telling a government to have a mall, have a cinema inside, or have a cinema that is run by the government, our culture, do you think it will not be abused?
Well, like you've rightly said, it will be abused. It will be abused, but there are ways in which we can go about this. When we have, for example, if Ventura, as an example now, it's always crowded. It's always crowded. But if am I going to put it? If there are
Foreign investors?
Foreign investors. If foreign investors can
Or
come,
private
or
investors.
if they can come in, then I think they can reduce the menace.
Okay, aside that, let's just leave cinema and the whole discussion of movie prayer aside. Now, entertainment, what can we do to salvage the migration, as you've rightly said, of our young talent to Lagos specifically?
Okay, to reduce the migration of our
Because you are here, you've lived in Lagos. You know how I lived in Lagos for about 7 years.
Yes.
I know how the hustle and bustle is in Lagos.
Yes.
You've lived in Lagos. You know how it is in Lagos. Now you are here. I am here. Something prompted you to return here.
Yes.
Something prompted me to return here.
Yes.
So now, when you now see people moving out, I often don't discourage them, because the passion at which they are moving with is quite different from what I carry. If I look at it from an angle here, they tend to look at it from another angle. Like me now, just as you said, those were the things I said to myself when I moved back to Oyo State. I was like, I will not have I will not be in a place where when I will see my kid will be when they are just about to wake up and when they are when they are in bed. An average Lagosian will understand that. Before 6 a.m. I'm out of the house, and by the time I'm returning it is almost 10. And that 6 a.m. is peradventure when my kids will wake up from the bed to prepare for school.
Yeah.
And that 10 a.m. they're already asleep. Now, earning much in Lagos and looking at the standard of living, some people know how they cope. It's not as if I couldn't cope then.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes, of course.
But my peace of mind and my sanity is extremely important.
Of course.
I want a situation whereby I can say I want to wake up 7 a.m. and I have to get to the office 7:45.
Yes.
And I want an environment that it is possible.
Yes.
Not where I'll wake up 4 a.m. and it is not even possible when I jump onto the road by 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
It is not possible to get to the office for 7:30, 45. Those were part of the reasons, aside some other things. Now, when you now see some people leaving this state to go simply because entertainment is not selling in Oyo State, it breaks my heart. Sincerely speaking. And I'm having this conversation with you because you've experienced both sides. It breaks my heart a whole lot. Now, the talent is living here for here. And when the glory comes, his starting point, his home country, his home state, will start claiming him. Knowing fully well that the glory did not come from home state. So why can't we have a situation where we have the Davidos, we will have the Wizkid, we will have the Burna Boys. Even if they have to go to Lagos, they can confidently say, yes, I blew from Oyo State to the world. Do you think the government is doing enough to support the entertainment industry based on what you've seen and experienced?
Well, the governor is trying. The government is trying its best, possible best. This thing is about yourself. For example, I am a musician, and I want my business, my music line to grow. Then I won't wait, or I won't wait for anybody to help me. I'll be the one to look for, I'll be the one to look for ways, in which I will make my music grow. And I will not compare myself to all this Davido, Burna Boy. Like they say, Rome was not built in a day.
Absolutely, but they've been in Lagos over the years.
Yes. So
even Burna Boy left Port Harcourt.
Yes, he left Port Harcourt. Yes.
We have artists that have left their home, not Oyo State alone. People are migrating from other states to Lagos.
Yes.
Because they believe that it is a land of opportunity, which I see Oyo State as. There are a lot of opportunities that are not tapped into here in Oyo State. Do you get? But they see Lagos because I often say this. Lagos is selling with the PR.
Yes.
Do you get? The Lagos have these aesthetics when it comes to PR. Aside the fact that there are industries there, we have the corporate firms, we have all of those things. The PR is solid and standard.
Of course.
And Oyo State is gradually getting to that level too, thanks to the governor.
Yes.
He holds PR with solid mind.
Yes.
Now, people that are there, or even Nigerians generally, they believe if you've not got, take for example, if your music blow in Oyo State,
Yes.
do you know it is possible for you not to blow in Lagos?
In Lagos.
And if your music blows in Lagos,
reverse. Yes.
you are everywhere. Now we have the media in Oyo State here chasing after artists in Lagos.
Yes.
And the media in Oyo State here not giving 80% acceptance as they should be to artists that are domiciled here.
Yes.
Then we have our own artists crawling and struggling. You will even see some artists that have not done any promotion in Oyo State here. Even movie actors and movie producers, they will tell you they are going to Lagos because by the time Lagos radio stations or Lagos media houses picked it up, I will become a king by the time I return. Or you've not encountered such challenge?
Well, once in a while.
Because I know you've released a couple of records.
Yeah.
And by the time you walk into any radio station, okay, let me rephrase this as a question. We have like about 2 minutes to go now.
Yeah.
Now you release a track. You've released a track in the past. How is the experience like having it played on here in Oyo State?
It's so challenging. So challenging. Until you go there, or until probably when you have an opportunity like this for probably for an interview session like this, that's when you can. It's always a challenge for us having our music played or aired for people to listen to. It's a big challenge. Huge one.
At this junction, I'll pen that discussion for another day. Mr. Ayo, I hope by the time we call you next time to come on Celebrity Corner, you will come.
Definitely.
And this is where we'll be drawing the curtain for the program today. However, before I take my leave, I will be giving special recognition to the governor of Oyo State, to Almighty God himself as well, the commissioners, the permanent secretary, the directors, Mrs. Aboyede Ojo, Olusegun Taiwo, Mr. Ola, the studio engineer, Akuko Aloore, and every other stakeholder here at Aloore Radio. However, don't forget to follow, like, and comment on all our social media posts, and refer your friends and family members too. It's not a big deal to tell them to check this station out. We know we are doing fine and we are doing well, so they need to check us out as well. So thank you. I'll see you same time next week. I remain Oluwamayowa Adeyinka. Discussion.
Àmbẹ̀là yìí síbẹ̀, a sì túra wáyé. Kó má ti.
Share, listen to Aloore Radio on Facebook. Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.
Ìpọ́njú tá ti rí, ìyà tí a ti jẹ, ìjà lóde, ẹ̀rù nínú, ẹ̀yìn tá a gbé lẹ́yìn. Kágbé àgbélébú títí a ó bá dé. Kàkà ohun gbogbo ṣòfò, ká lè jèrè Jésù.
Share, listen to Aloore Radio on Facebook. Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State. Share, listen to Aloore Radio on Facebook. Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State. share, listen to Aloore Radio on Facebook. Aloore Radio, the voice of Oyo State.